What up? Hey, what up? What up? Hey, what up? What up? Hey, what up? Hey, what up?
What up, Dope Pride Nation? Welcome to Luke G's Film Review, and we're back at it today with another film session. This time of Kentucky tight end CJ Conrad. Let me give a shout out to George Morgan for suggesting we take a quick look at Mr. CJ Conrad. Let's get right into it. He's 6'5", 252, and if you look at the numbers, they're not gaudy, and that's because of how Kentucky used him. They used him primarily as a blocking tight end, and would occasionally throw him the ball. But let's get to some of the strengths. He has pretty decent hands. You know, I've seen a number of times where he's made some solid catches. He has a pretty good blocking skill set. You know, nothing to write home about, but decent. The thing that I like about his blocking is he is really good at holding the block. He has a very good job of adjusting to the ball in the air, so those are decent things. When it comes to his weakness, he's not very fast, people. I'm sure you're gonna see some plays where it look like he's running fast. He's not. You know, the other people just that slow or exhausted. And although I say he's a pretty decent blocker, he's an inconsistent blocker. He doesn't always get the block he's supposed to get. But when he get it, he got it. His route running is subpar at best. He doesn't appear to be that strong when he does block and when he does run his routes and try to get those push-offs and things like that. And I noticed that he has a huge issue with bigger, stronger DNs. So that's the rundown for strengths and weakness. Let's get into the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good. Right here, you're going to see Mr. CJ Conrad right here. And just for the record, I do believe he's going to be a late round draft pick unless he goes and act a fool at the combine, which I don't see happening. But he's right here. And what you're going to see from this block is he's just going to do his job, not doing too much, but he's going to go and get that block. It's going to be a nice block. Boom. And he's holding it. That's not bad, you know. That's not bad. The very next play, you're going to see him do the same thing. It's going to be a pass play. Boom. That's that pass block. Now, you're going to notice that he got pushed a little bit, but he never gave up too much ground and he held it. All right. So that's some of the good. Okay, on this play right here, he's right here. And what you're going to see right here is probably what I saw majority of the time when I watched this guy in terms of his blocking. You're going to see him fire off the ball and hold his block. But you're going to notice something very interesting. So he's going to come off, hold his block, hold his block. Notice that number 15 didn't really go nowhere, and notice that he didn't finish that block. Okay. Those are things that he's going to have to learn how to be better at in finishing that block. Okay, so right here we're going to get a little bit of chance to see his hands. The CJ Conrad is right here, and again you're going to notice that he's in that off tight end slash fullback almost kind of position, and you're going to notice he's going to come in over here and get his release. And what you're going to see is him use nothing but his hands to make this catch. So he comes off, gets the release, all hands. Again, he ain't the fastest. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, he ain't the fastest. I almost want to compare him to like David Petta, maybe a little bit 10 slower. Okay, so right here, what you'll see is Mr. CJ Conrad is right here. Now, what's interesting about this is one of the few plays where you get to see him not in that weird formation almost where he's back here like that, but he's off the line. What I loved about this play in particular was he did a very good job at acting on this play. And when you look at him, he's going to act like he's going to block because it's really a wide receiver screen. And then he's going to burst up the field and make the catch at the high point. So let's take a look and see what he do here. Good acting chops, burst. And I'm surprised he didn't get caught, in all honesty. But if you want to see a better look of it, this right here is going to be a more wide view of it. And what you're going to see is Mr. CJ Conrad is right here. And what I want you to do is pay attention to how all these guys react like it's a wide receiver screen, and try to keep your eyes on him because he's going to sell it. So they pretty much circled him up for us right there. And then we stutter steps, boom, beats the linebacker, and he's off to the races, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's time for the bad. And what you're going to see here is Mr. CJ Conrad is right here. And when I mean bad, meaning that he's going to need some work on these things, okay? But he does a good job of getting away, but here's some of that inconsistent blocking with poor technique I talk about. So as you see, he comes, and I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was, ladies and gentlemen. But in his head, he just went ham. So you're going to see it from a different angle. And what you're going to see is Mr. CJ Conrad is right here. And what you're going to notice is he's got to get from over here to here. And I'm not even going to slow this down because it's that obvious. Now, some people may argue that's a good block. That's horrible. The defender really didn't even know he was there, to be honest with you. But that's some of the bad. Okay, right here, CJ Conrad is right here. And to me, what bothered me about this is a poor block because he needs to hit this guy in the mouth. Okay? And watch as he comes off. Okay? What is that, ladies and gentlemen? I ask because I'm truly confused. I really am confused. And what I've noticed is he does this type of blocking quite often. And so as you see, he's right here. And he's going to come pull over this way. And all he has to really do is clear this guy out. Okay? This is Wildcat, ladies and gentlemen. That's another draft prospect's snail. And they're running a Wildcat. So all he has to do is come and clear this dude out. But what I noticed that he does often is he does these chop blocks that are the weakest I've ever seen. So we're just watching and see it for ourselves. Why not just hit him in the mouth? And they didn't even face the linebacker. You know, so shame on him for that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what you're going to see here is Mr. CJ Conrad is right here. And what you're going to see is this is going to be a screen to Mr. CJ Conrad. Now, many people are going to say, oh, this was a successful screen. And it was, given the right that it did gain some yards. Where my issue come in, that is, he didn't truly sell that he was blocking. And if the linebackers had a half of a brain, they would have noticed that he wasn't truly blocking. But nonetheless, he gets out. But I also want you to pay attention to his speed on this play. So he's going to come up. Everybody pass blocks. And it's almost like whatever. But this is his speed. I mean, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's his speed. That's his attempt to sell it. And I think he got hurt because he pulled a muscle trying to probably run fast. No telling. Now, right here, what you're going to see is he's right here. And again, this is just another angle to kind of see the play unfold. So from this angle, you're going to see the guy comes in. I would like to see him chip that guy to slow him down and then release. But nonetheless, he didn't. And so we have the play that we have. So, you know, can't get mad at that. You know, this is one of the reasons why he's going to probably be a late pick. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. CJ Conrad is right here. Okay, please focus on this, ladies and gentlemen, because we are now into the ugly. And when I say ugly, meaning that this is inexcusable and it should not happen. And I don't know if you can coach this out of him, but this is why I question his strength, and this is why I question his ability to take on bigger DNs. So Mr. CJ Conrad is going to come up, and what you're going to see is he's going to get treated like a drunk man at the club, and he's going to get tossed, okay? But let's take a look. Again, he's right here. Don't lose your focus on this because this is ugly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in case you missed it, I like to go back and slow things down a little bit because I want you to see how a person like him needs to be a little bit stronger at the point of attack and needs to definitely get those hands underneath those pads. Okay, and if he do that, I think you will see a better block. But nonetheless, I think he actually kind of got his hands underneath the pads and still got treated like, you know, like a rag doll. So let's take a look. Ladies and gentlemen, that can't happen. I want y'all to take a moment to witness this crime scene. Exhibit A, the leg hanging out of the body bag. Because that's what just happened to this man. He got bodied. And that's why this is one of the uglier plays. This can't happen. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here goes some more of the ugly. As you can see, Mr. CJ Conrad is right here. Okay? And the reason I want you to take a good long look at this, because I'm going to have to rewind it back for you to see it, is because he gets to take a trip to one of the most well-known breakfast restaurants, IHOP, because he gets pancake. Let's pay attention and see what happens in normal speed. In case you missed that, ladies and gentlemen, you know my style. I tend to go back and kind of show it to you and break it down to you, because I want you to be able to see the reality of what this player could be if he comes to the Detroit Lions. He has some work that he definitely needs to get taken care of ASAP. But let's just go ahead and slow this down to the slowest speed possible. And again, this right here indicates where he's at. Keep your eyes right here. But in particular, if you can't see the blue, just watch what this man right here do to Mr. CJ Conrad. Again, if you like pancakes, you're going to love this play. Let's see what happens. So first thing I want you to see is he comes off the ball good. Okay. Now all of a sudden, he gets pancaked. Huh? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I don't need to show you too much more, because pretty much what I saw here is a general synopsis of the things that I saw. What are you getting with a player like CJ Conrad? You're getting a big body, half decent speed tight end who has good hands. He does make some tough catches and make some good adjustments. There's a few plays I could have shown where he made some tough catches and stuff like that. I don't think people really care about that, because those are great. I'm sure y'all understand at this point that these videos get kind of long, and I like to be as detailed as possible. One of the things I want to do is try to shorten these videos up so y'all can kind of see the stuff, get the information, and then, you know, go do your own research to see if I'm crazy. Because I'm not always right. I'm not the authority. However, I will say this. If the Detroit Lions draft him in, say, the 3rd round, would I be upset? Probably. Because I believe there's some better prospects than him. But if they took him in, say, the 4th round, and you may be wondering, well, what's the difference? The difference is the amount of money we're going to pay him. And if he's going to be productive or not, I don't want the risk to be there. There are some things in his game that definitely needs to be fixed and worked on. And one of them is getting stronger in the weight room. That's fixable. His route running, and for the most part, is subpar, because he only can run about 2 routes, okay? But that's fixable. What's not fixable is aggression. And one of the things I don't see with him is that aggression. I don't see that dog in him. Now, what I have seen in him is this. If you're telling me that the Detroit Lions are drafting him simply to be our fullback, then I'm telling you kudos to the Detroit Lions, because that's exactly how he was utilized in his time in Kentucky. So that's it for right now, ladies and gentlemen, on Mr. CJ Conrad. Please hit that like, subscribe, and notification button so you can stay in the loop of these videos. And if there's somebody else you want me to take a look at, let me know in the comment section, and I'll notify you if I'll add them to the queue or not. Right now, I'm trying to work on adding more offensive players to the film study, and so that's what I'm going to aim for. But that's it for now, and until next time, remember, don't be no chump. Please do your research.